Hey, I'm CJ Lohr. I'm the broker and owner of Lohr Real Estate Services in Rochester, New York. And today I want to talk to you about housing demand. Now, the demand for housing is, of course, people. People need a place to live, and we make people. That's what we do. It's one of our primary drivers in life. So, the reason that's important is the reason the housing market favors the seller right now is that the demand for housing is higher than the supply. It's that simple. So there's not enough housing, and there's more people that want housing than there are houses. So for that reason, pricing goes up. Now the question becomes, is it going to keep going up? Well, historically it always has, even through the 80s when interest rates were 18%. Why does interest rates matter? Well, interest rates kind of do dictate the demand for housing because the more expensive money gets to borrow, then demand will creep down. But right now, last year, for example, interest rates were 4% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. This year, right now, today, they're under 3%. So for example, if you had a $200,000 house last year that you purchased, if you were to buy the same house this year or refinance that house, your payment would be about $60 less, maybe 70, depending on where you bought, what your rate was. Now, the question is, what happens down the road? What is the real estate market going to do? We have factors in play like COVID, and what happens if we don't go back to school, and what happens if we... Here's the thing, the demand for housing is not going to change because the demand for housing is people. You can look at the video I shot at the beginning of COVID, and I was saying the same story then, and lo and behold, the real estate market is doing stronger than it was before COVID, which was already a very, very strong seller-friendly market. So, housing demand is not going to go down. And an old thing that I like to bring up is my 10 cents a hole golf analogy. And it's parallel to housing demand because it's an analogy about compound interest. And the story goes like this. If you were to bet 10 cents a hole on a game of golf, 18 holes, you would end up paying $1.80, and you'd be betting $1.80. But if you were to double the bet after every hole, so for example, hole 1, 10 cents a hole. Hole 2, 20 cents. Hole 3, 40 cents. Hole 4, 80 cents, and so on. By the time you get to the 9th hole, you're at $25.80. By the time you get to the 18th hole, you're at over $13,000 because of compound interest. And that's exactly how we reproduce. We compound. So you got to ask yourself, how many construction workers does it take to make housing as fast as we can make people? Because I think it's more than we have. Thank you for watching my video. Please like the video if you enjoyed the content, and if you want to keep seeing content like this, please subscribe to my channel.